Hey everybody, this is Stitch 1993 here, and welcome back to another toy hunting video. So I was in Greenville, South Carolina a couple weeks ago for a video game convention, which I'll be editing that video soon, and that will probably be out sometime next week. But while I was in the area, I went with my two uncles to a toy store I had heard many things about through other YouTubers called Toy Federation. And let me tell you, it is a great toy store. And I found quite a few items, but I kind of just wanted to show you everybody what it looked like inside, what I saw, and of course at the end I'll show you what I picked up. So walking first in, we see there's quite a bit of 90s and 80s toys. I first saw this Mr. Mike McDonald's toy. It doesn't appear that he worked, and they wanted about $20 for him, which I thought was a bit pricey for that figure there. There was a loose potato head. Didn't look like it had all the parts there. And so I kind of just left him there. Looks like a little bit of just tchotchkes and stuff at the entrance there. I saw this cool robot here. I believe I'd seen him in like Sears catalogs in years past, and wasn't sure how much they wanted for him, but definitely couldn't fit him in the car right home. Plus I didn't have room for him at home anyways. But yeah, the place is actually pretty decently sized. We'll go around in like a little clockwise circle showing everything off here. Only thing I wasn't too interested about was that it seems like all their Toy Story items, at least the ones that were still in box, were a little bit above market price. Like that Woody was about $150, and usually he goes for about $100. Complete in box too, as the recording in this video. You can probably even get him cheaper, honestly, because they sold so many of him. He's not like a rare toy or anything. Everything else though was pretty evenly priced though. So we get to our first glass case here, and there were some really cool toys in here, man. If I had a bigger budget, I would be bringing home quite a bit more. We had some original Zoids, there's a Computer Warriors, and then I saw the Herculoids figures. I've been wanting these for forever, but they're so expensive, and that figure was expensive as well. I also saw this Robbie coin bot here. I had one growing up. It was like my first robot toy I ever had, and they even had some of the McNuggets from the most recent iteration of them in McDonald's. He had a good bit of RoboForce, both the old and the new, and they were actually really decently priced. Doesn't look like they were complete. I think they were missing maybe like an accessory or so, but still overall great. I remember this little computer guy. I didn't have one growing up, but it's like every daycare and thrift store I went to back in the 90s and early 2000s had one. He's supposed to have like cards you would put in the chest, and it would synchronize with like a little chip to where you could play like electronic games with him. So it looks like he didn't come with any of the cards, so unfortunately I put him back. And I'm pointing out the robot to my uncle there to kind of tell him that is the robot I had growing up. And I got an interesting story about him that I'll tell later. Moving on over, we've got, of course, so a good bit of lunch boxes there. We got He-Man. I don't collect He-Man, but I know a lot of people do, so it looks like they had a good variety of figures, a little of the older ones. And then right next to it, they had a good bit of the old classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, even some from the Next Mutation, which was pretty cool. Then we had some Ghostbusters from the original line, along with Thundercats. And then next over to that was Jurassic Park from the original film, and then above that was Mask. Again, not a lot of stuff that I really collect for, but it's always nice and cool seeing it. Then of course they had a good bit of the classic G.I. Joe figures, and my uncle actually pointed out some that he saw that he actually had as a kid. In this little corner here, I thought it was pretty interesting. They had some of the, I think they were newer strawberry shortcake figures. I hadn't seen these before, so I'm not sure if they're from the most recent line or one of the previous iterations. I know they're not from the originals. And then we get into some Transformers, and looks like, yeah, and then a whole bunch of Star Wars, and I mean a whole bunch of Star Wars. We'll get to a bit more of it in a little bit, but almost an entire wall of toys in this store is both old and new Star Wars figures. I had to gawk at this one because this is my first Zoid I ever had, the Gordosaur, and it looks like he was never opened. They wanted $80 for him, which isn't that bad, but he was the first Zoid I ever got. I got him for my, I think, like my 10th birthday, and I played with him so much he eventually started losing pieces, and eventually I threw him away. Maybe one day I'll go back and get him, but he wasn't in my price range for this visit. They had a bunch of horror figures, Universal Monsters, some of the newer creatures, and a good bit of the Batman and DC Superman figurines. Going back to the Star Wars, so yeah, if you wanted anything original, New Force, the Black Series, they had it, and I mean they had a bunch of it. They even had a good bit of the Star Wars Hot Wheels and Micro Machine sets here with their Hot Wheels section. And I don't collect a lot of Star Wars anymore. I used to, but there is so much Star Wars stuff to collect. You kind of, unless you have like infinite room, kind of have to like set on what exactly you want to collect. I'm not really sure what I want to collect as far as the Star Wars stuff right now, so I've kind of put a pause on collecting. I may eventually pick some more stuff up, but not anytime soon. After that, they had a lot of cool figurines there, including these original Toy Story figurines. It looks like they mostly had ones I had. Those were pretty decently priced, but the other bigger items that we'll see more of later on in this video, those were all a little bit more than what anybody should pay for them, honestly. Down here at the bottom, they had some Rock'em Sock'em Robot action figures. I've heard about this line. I've wanted to collect it. They actually weren't that badly priced. There was other stuff that I'll show you at the end of this video that just kind of I wanted more than the Rock'em Sock'em figurine. So they had a good bit of that. I think they had like 4 or 5 or 6 of the series there. And then we got some wrestling figures. I'm assuming both old and new because I know nothing about the wrestling figures. And then there, of course, more classic more Star Wars. And more Star Wars right there. There is some more. It looks like that's more of the recent Masters of the Universe figures, and more of the semi-recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figurines, both from the 2009 and 2011 lines. That was really cool that he came with the DVD right there. Some more Star Wars. And they actually had a little bit of VHS, so I took some time and looked at them. They were mostly stuff for the Disney VHSs, stuff you can find on DVD. So I was strictly looking for, of course, VHSs for the VHS pile. Ones that never came to DVD or Blu-ray or any other physical format. But it didn't look like they had, or at least the ones that they did, I wasn't very much interested in. I did see this copy of Jim Henson's Mother Goose Stories, but oof, that box has seen better days. Moving on over, they have some comic books. I didn't look in them because I don't collect comic books, but if you are, that's something to know about. And they actually had a little bit of a board game section, including the Mr. Potato Head Pals kid board game, which I do have a copy of. It didn't have a price on it, so I'm not, and it looked to be in about the same condition as my own copy was, so I just kind of put it back. But it's always cool seeing that toy in the wild, because you just never see stuff like that. So going back, this is a Toy Story 4 Woody doll, and they wanted $50 for him. Last time I checked, I think he's about $30 in that same condition. They did have a good, decent Lego collection, and they were decently priced. I just didn't pick up anything this time. One, I just don't have a lot of room for Legos, and two, I was not in the Lego buying mood. So this thing up here, this is a display piece from McDonald's for their Disney video series, and I'm specifically looking at the Flubber toy because I remember going into McDonald's when they had those toys with my grandparents, and specifically asking my grandpa to make sure that he gave me the Flubber toy, which he did, and I had that, and it was like one of the only Flubber toy I ever had, because I was a huge fan of that movie growing up, and I had it until I think it broke. I did one more round around the toy store. I kind of by this time knew what I wanted, and I was just, scanning, once over, making sure I didn't miss anything there. And again, this for the most part, this store had a good variety of stuff. I would say that the majority of the store, though, is Star Wars based, so definitely if you are looking to collect for Star Wars, definitely go check that out. There's another Toy Story piece up there, a couple of them. And yeah, they just had pretty much, as regards to action figures, pretty much something from every line. Buffy, Lost in Space, Tron, Skeleton Warriors, Xena, Hercules, Disney, you name it, they probably had it. They did have some Pops there, but again, I'm not in the mood for buying Pops. And they had a good bit of these, I don't know what brand, but they're I guess the nicer looking action figures there. I didn't even know they ever made any for Buffy or Monty Python, so that was kind of cool. And one more scan over of the Hot Wheels. I was trying to find, I am on the lookout for the Tron Hot Wheels figures that came out with the Tron Legacy series. They are really hard to come by nowadays, and I just never see them. And I saw that they had some other Tron Legacy toys there, so I was hoping maybe I could find some of the Hot Wheels, but unfortunately I did not. But I saw that for the most part what I wanted was in the glass cases, and there was a couple other things that I picked out as well. But yeah, this was a great toy store. Again, this is in Greenville, South Carolina, Toy Federation. They're open Monday through Saturday, so this was on Saturday, and it was a pretty decent crowd in there, but nothing too bad. It probably was a bit more busier since the video game convention was going on, and they had a lot of boxed items as well. I was very surprised. They even had, I didn't get a picture of it, but they even had a RoboForce. So in my third round, I did find a Potato Head, and it was, believe it or not, in the Star Wars stuff. So yeah, that was really cool. You don't see those specifically in the wild. That was a Disney Store exclusive. So this is what I got from the Toy Federation. I did get that Darth Maul Potato Head that was complete in box. I also got 2 RoboForce figures. I've got Copter and I got Max Steel. I got that Robbie the Robot. I just had, as soon as I saw him, I knew I had to get him. And he does work. He works a little too well though. So he does have an off switch, but as soon as you put the battery in, he just keeps on going. I've looked up stuff on him and he's supposed to stop after, even if you put it on off mode, he's supposed to stop after 1 complete cycle, but I think there's something in the wiring that's shot and it just keeps going, which is fine. I'd rather him work than not work at all, but I'm not an expert in wiring, so he's just gonna have to be like that, and anytime I don't want him to be working, I have to completely take the battery out. I did find a VHS, Dinosaur Giants, and it looks like it's just kind of one of those average dollar store dinosaur documentaries. I may go over it someday. I'm not quite sure yet because it's not the most interesting of dinosaur documentaries that are out there. But let me know down in the comments if you want to see a review on it, and if enough people do, I'll probably will put it in the lineup someday. I did pick up that Brick is his name, Nugget Buddy from the 2023 line of McNugget Buddies. I'm actually pretty close of getting a full set there now. I got a couple while they were being sold at McDonald's. My friend found me another one, so I believe I'm only missing 2 now, which is nice. They were really cool. Actually, technically 3 because one's the hidden golden nugget. But they're really cool, and I'll do a review on them eventually when I have enough of them to do a review on. But the hunt continues. And that was it on my Toy Federation haul there. Yeah, so let me know down in the comments if you've ever been to the store, and what did you see in the video that you think I may have missed that I should have picked up. Again, I didn't have a big a budget because this was kind of on the whim. I mainly kept a budget more for the Video Game Expo, which again, a video of that should be coming out sometime next week, so make sure to subscribe so that you can be notified of when that video comes out. And yeah, I'll be doing a couple more of these. I'll try to be doing them a bit more often than I have been. I saw that a lot of people liked my last one, so that's a good sign for me that I should probably continue to do this. I won't do a whole bunch like some channels do. This will not turn into just a straight up toy hunt video, but there is a good bit of toy stores near me, and there's a good bit of conventions coming up this year that I am planning on going to. So I will try to film as much as possible within reason, within my ability to edit. And what have you picked up recently? Be it toys, be it video games, be it movies, VHSs. Let me know down in the comments. And thank you for watching. Until next time, thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.